Guys, and we are back. So in this video we're going to be picking up another project car. I stumbled across this one just by posting a couple of wanted ads on Instagram and Facebook, so I didn't post anything publicly, and had quite a bit of good response. So a lot of good cars, some that might even still be yet to come, but one of the cars was this car here. So I went and looked at it on Saturday and it turned out better than I thought. It needs a bit of love and it's been sitting for over 6 years. So it is a 1985 VK Commodore, factory white, factory manual and factory blue trim, which is perfect base for what I want to do. I've already got an idea in my head that I think I might go with, but if I don't, it's all good. First things first, probably just get this thing home and give it a good clean, but at this stage it is pissing down outside, so I think Mother Nature's going to take care of that on the drive home. But anyway, we're about 10 minutes away from picking the car up, so we'll flip the camera around, we'll get out the car and we'll open up the shed and show you all this absolute gem of a VK Commodore. Alright, here she is. We've managed to beat the weather home, but we haven't got much sunlight left and it's starting to rain, so I thought I'd do a quick little video and a walk around of the car, check out all the cobwebs and shit hanging off this thing, but run you through it quickly. Like I said before, 1985 VK SL Commodore. So started out its life in 1985 as a stock standard 6-cylinder. This is probably the bad side with the moulding missing. It's just got mismatched wheels, as that's what it's been wheeled around on. The car actually came from the auction, so it was auctioned off a number of years ago. So the car's been sitting since it was purchased back then in 2019. So it's been sitting in a shed since 2019. So 6 odd years. So hasn't moved, it hasn't started, and it hasn't been driven since it's been purchased. So I was contacted by the guy that owned the car. He was never going to do much with it, had big plans and intentions, but I just never eventuated, and that's understandable. So some people might be looking at this thing and thinking, what are you doing with it? That's a bucket of junk. But these cars are the ones to get. This is a treasure. So factory manual, factory white and blue interior is a big bonus, as if you're going to do a Brock replica or an SS or a Group A, it's already manual, which is a tick, and it's white, which I like, in an SS, and blue trim. So that's what the Brockies had, and that's what I might be doing with this one. I'm not too sure yet on how far I'm going to go with it, but I just thought I'll run you through the bare bones of this thing before we maybe get some better light, and I'll do a bit of filming later on in the week, and then we can run through it in depth a little bit more. But for now, this is her. As you can see, fair bit of barn dust. That's all right, we'll wash her up, give it a good scrub. It'll probably clean up pretty good. It's got all the genuine headlights still in it, a couple of cracks on the bars here and there. It's pretty straight, nothing too bad. Visually, it's got a bad dent in the bonnet where it's been pierced with either, I don't know, an axe or something. Got a little bit of rust in the front windows, but nothing crazy. These cars are pretty bad for it. VKs, VH, VLs, all of that era. It's just starting down here, so that'll probably need replacing. Nothing too big. Back window's just starting to go as well from the outside, but on the inside it's got a fair bit of rust, but all of that stuff's pretty fixable. Cut it out, weld some patches in. Like I said, I think it'll clean up pretty good. It's got a lot of dust from just sitting around for a long time, so we'll give it a good scrub this week, and maybe by the end of this video give you a bit of a look after it's been all cleaned up. Have a look at the interior. It's in not bad condition. Speaker holes in the door trims are a bit of a bummer, but nothing major. It's got a bit of a dash pad from the back in the day with the old Leaf, whatever you're into in the 80s, but like I said, blue interior. Can't see much, lighting shit. It had no steering wheel, so I've put a steering wheel on it just to move it around, and like I said, factory manual, so it's got the manual console. It is missing the stereo, which has obviously had an aftermarket one fitted at some stage, so I'll probably look at it just fitting like a retro style or an old original one. But like I said, being the 3 pedals is just a bonus. All blue interior. Under the seat covers, when you pull these up, it's still in pretty good condition. They'll shampoo and vacuum very good. But yeah, everything needs a good scrub. So door trims with holes in it will probably get replaced with either new ones or some good second handies. But I think this thing will clean up pretty good. I'm pretty happy. The back seat is all original as well. You can see just the blue SL material. I don't know if you'll be able to see much. That's in good nick. But the back base is a Berliner seat, so that's no biggie. We can get into finding another seat, or if I go through with my plans, I'll probably change the whole interior to something like a VK Brock with some shield seats, and get the back seats retrimmed. But lot to think about just yet before we get too far into it and work out what we're going to spend and what I'm actually going to do with it. If I keep it, if I sell it, I'm going to look at maybe just flexing my skills on this one to test myself on how far I can push my skills with the metal fab, whether I shorten a diff. I got a few ideas running through my head with wheels, color. I really want to stick with the white, as that is a really good base, and white's just nice and easy to paint, and it always looks $1,000,000 when it's all polished up. But anyway, we might wait for some better weather, as this is horrible, and we'll probably touch base with a bit more footage later on this week. Alrighty, we're back and finally managed to get a bit of a break in this weather. So the rain's cleared, it's not being so horrible at the moment, so we're gonna get this VK out. It's hidden away in the shed at the moment, and we're going to give it a bit of a wash. Nothing special. High pressure cleaner and some soap and a sponge. Let's get this thing clean, push it out the shed, and give this thing a good wash. Alrighty, got this thing pushed out of the shed on my own, and I'm stuffed, but thought I'd go through a couple of things before I get into washing it. Now, from the start of the video, you would have seen that I mentioned that it was a factory white, factory manual with blue interior SL VK. Now, since getting the car home, we have worked out that, which I didn't even look at because I wasn't even too bothered, but this car is actually not a factory manual car, and it's not a factory EFI 202 car. Now, if we quickly pan over to the tags, it is an L14 M40, which is Trimatic, and L14 engine code is a Carby 202 with a GU5 axle code. Now, GU5 meaning 3-2 gears, so 323 gears on a Salisbury diff. Now, this has got a 10 bolt in it, and we'll show you on this side because it's a bit easier to see with this wheel, but it's got a disc brake diff in it. Now, I don't know if that's an option, but all of the other VKs that we've got here are GU5, and they are drum brake rear, so I'm not sure. Obviously someone's put that diff in it along with the engine and that gearbox. Now, it's a lot of effort to go to putting a manual gearbox into a car that didn't originally have one, and also an EFI or fuel injected 202. So we've tried to get it running. I've thrown a battery in it and we have got it turning over. We just can't get any spark or injector pulse, so I'm not really too phased about it. It doesn't bother me heaps if it doesn't run, because all this is going to come out. It just would have been maybe a little bit of a selling point if someone was after one or looking for an original black motor 202, that we could get this going and know that it runs, but we just don't know that. So it'll be all coming out stripped and whatever, but I've got some ideas and some plans. But first, let's focus on getting this thing all scrubbed up and eliminate all of this barn dust that's currently soaking up the color on this VK. Anyway, let's get into it. This thing's absolutely filthy. Engine bay is a bit of a pigsty, not too fussed on the engine and stuff, but we might as well give it a quick hose off while we're here with this crap. Help clean everything off and hopefully get rid of the smell of cigarettes and ashtray on this VK. Give it a quick degreaser and we'll hose everything off and see how it comes out. We're going to skip the whole sponge wash and squirt thing because I'm pretty sure most of you know how to wash a car, but I've just finished hosing it all off and cleaning it now. Already looking $1 million bucks. All I've done is gone over it. I've cleaned all the glass inside and out just quickly. I'm not even going to bother chamoising the paint as I'll probably lose half of my chamois just doing that, but a lot of crap removed. This is the main probably panel damage on the car, is this piercing in the bonnet, which looks like it's just something's either fallen on it or someone's hit it and stabbed a hole in it, which is a bit of a bummer as it's really close to the body line. Might be able to cut that out and repair it or dent knock it, but overall not too bad. I'll run you through it. A little bit of rust on the front screen, which is pretty common for these models. VK, VL were probably worse because of the plastic molds that run along the windows. They have holes at the top and then the water just comes down and fills up that cowl panel and they rust out. But apart from that, overall rust on the car is pretty good. It's got some in the back just starting to appear along the outside. From inside the boot it's even worse, but it's not that bad. I'll get the keys and we'll open up the boot. Pretty happy with that. A bit of a mission with these ferrule door locks and on your own Solex, but the boot springs are missing, so I've got to hold up the boot myself. But the only real rust in the boot, spare wheel well is fairly gone, which isn't too hard to replace or get rid of. We'll probably remove that and either put in a flat panel there or just replace it. I've got another car we can probably use, but VKs are pretty notorious for their boot floors. This one's really good, which I'm happy with. There's some sand sitting in here, which either tells me they've been at the beach or it's come from near the beach. But if we lift this up and put that over there, the boot floor is really good. No overall rust. Still the factory underlay. Up under here is where the worst bit is, probably back there from underneath, which it's all fixable. It's just time and effort and doing that. But overall pretty happy with the rust in the boot. Like I said, the boot springs are missing, so the boot's really heavy, have to hold that up. And like I said, also discovering, I knew buying the car that it was a manual and it was a 6-cylinder, which is a perfect canvas for what I want to do. So Not being a factory manual is no real biggie. It's not the end of the world. It's just having that pedal box in there is a big bonus, because I feel like if you're going to do something like a Brock replica in a world full of autos, a manual is the only way to do it. So we'll show you quickly the interior. We'll probably save that for another day, as it needs a big cleanup. This interior is just very dirty. It stinks. If I can describe to you the smell of an 80s Commodore mixed with cigarettes and coffee, and just, yeah, it's dirty and it stinks. The dash itself is pretty good. Pretty happy that it's got a taco dash, and it's all in pretty good condition. It's got a beautiful dash mat, which is a nice touch. The holes in the doors are a bit of a bummer. We can fix those. Obviously you can cover them with some other door trims, but I would like to get into fixing those. And also I might add, because they have changed the engine from a Carby 202 to an EFI 202, there's a lot of wiring issues going on, and we don't know if this car's ever really ran, because the guy that I bought it from couldn't get it started at all with the immobilizer. But we've got it cranking over and there's still no spark, and like I said, no injector pulse. So no real biggie. I'm probably going to yank it all out anyway, and it will get sold off. If anyone wants it, inquire within, leave a comment. You're more than welcome to come and grab it. It's not worth much to me. I don't know much about the diff. Obviously commented earlier that it is a 10 bolt and it is a disc brake diff. I don't know if it's 28 spline or not. Most 10 bolts are, but I'm not sure if it's a 6-cylinder Salisbury diff. So I've got a BorgWarner diff put aside from another mate's VL Calais, which is disc brake diff. I don't know if I'll shorten that and probably whack some 31 spline axles into that. I don't really want to go reinventing the wheel with this car and putting a 9-inch in or anything like that. It's just going to be a cruiser. It's not going to be a race car. So while we're on that topic, you're probably thinking, what are you going to do with this thing? It is a piece of shit, but it's not. One man's trash is another man's treasure. And like I said, this is an absolutely perfect start for something like an SS Brock, a Blue Meanie or something like that. Because it is white, I want to leave it white. I absolutely dig white cars. Just easier to keep clean. They present well, polished up, and with a new lick of paint, it'll look $1 million. Why this car? Well, I had the itch for some time to do another car. I want to build a car. This one, without a doubt, will probably be for sale when it's finished, but I want to test my skills and just like every other car, do everything from the shed at home. So the panel beating, I want to smooth the bay. I'm not sure what we're going to put in it yet, but the paint, the panel, the driveline, I'm probably going to tub it just for that extra bit of flair and go with that tough street theme that I love to do. So I know people on the channel are probably thinking, oh, it's just another Commodore, but you know, in a world full of probably 20 VLs, there's probably only 5 decent VKs that you see around, especially in Adelaide. There's a lot more done up as Brocks in Sydney. But like I said, a white manual VK with blue interior is the perfect base for me. And also, those that are close friends of mine, you will know that back when I was about 15, I built a VK SS replica with my old man, and we turned it into a bit of a tarmac car, had a full cage in it. I'll throw up some pictures. We purchased it for $500 from Murray Bridge, and it was the same deal, white VK, blue trim, factory manual car. And we converted that to 5 litre, just put an EFI 5 litre in it with a Supra 5-speed, 28 spline diff, and that was the first car I ever went to the drags in. You know, I used to drive it around on the street, drive it to work when I was 17, and as you could imagine, it didn't last too long before the authority got a hold of it. But yeah, it was good fun and a good learning curve. This car behind me, I just want to do the same thing probably, but just times 10 and take it to that next level and have like a real nice VK SS streeter. Obviously along the lines of shield trim and things like that, that's probably going to be the most expensive and hard to get things. I know you can get them done brand new, so we'll probably go down that line of work, but it's just expensive outlay. The rest of it can mainly do myself, but something like the interior, they do look $1 million in that shield trim, and man, they look so good. So for now, by the next video, this car will either be stripped or we'll probably be back on the Mazda continuing on with that, as we've got a fair bit to do with that still. So definitely keeping busy. Something like this, you might be thinking, what motivates you to do something like this? The only thing that motivates me to keep going with things like this is the vision of the car finished. 9 times out of 10 when I buy a car, I've already pictured it in my head what it's going to look like when it's finished. And I've got a pretty rough image in my head of how this is going to look when it's finished. After tearing this thing down, I'm going to strip it probably back to a bare shell, bare metal it, respray it, mini tubs, things like that. And it's going to look wild. So I'm pretty keen to rip into it. Like I said, the vision is what motivates me. Test my skills, improve my skills, and just be better than how I was yesterday. And that's all you can really ask for. Just keep testing yourself. Make mistakes, like I said in our last video, make mistakes, learn from them, and improve on yourself. So definitely got a lot on my plate to worry about lately, so this is definitely going to keep me busy. In terms of driveline, not 100% sure what I'm going to whack in it yet, but I'm pretty keen on a 6 litre or 6.2 LS. I'm just going to keep it NA with a manual and some diff gears. This is going to be a fun car. Like I said, just a streeter to cruise on the road. Nothing over the top. It'll be neat. With a bit of a Brock theme, and it's going to turn out $1 million. So now that we've washed off all that barn dust, I'm not sure if it's lost value or if it's gained value, but it's definitely cleaned up a lot better. It was filthy with 10 million cobwebs. Pretty keen to rip into this one, tear it apart. As you can see, like, it's a pretty good blank canvas to start with. The body's pretty good, no massive dents. It's got some rust here and there, but that can all be fixed. It's only metal. We'll strip this thing apart, probably remove the engine and gearbox. I did give the under the engine bay a quick squirt, and it's come up a bit cleaner. So there was a lot of grease, dirt and dust just sitting around from being in storage, but we'll probably yank the driveline. I'll pull the engine and gearbox out, and then I'll probably remove the whole front guards, headlight, grille, everything, and work towards getting the engine bay sorted. So I'll probably sandblast it and get all of that so it's just all fresh. Then you can sandblast all under the front wheel arches and in there, and when you go to paint it, it's just a lot easier than getting in there and scraping it by hand before we do like an underbody restoration as well. Clean it all up, paint it black, and it's going to turn out pretty neat, I feel. VKs have always been a bit of a soft spot. I've had a couple of them. Unfortunately enough, you can buy a lot of these parts brand new from Rare Spares, which is a bonus. But like I said, pretty keen on getting the shield trim in it, getting some white paint on this thing, and a pretty tough Angry NA driveline. So that'll probably be it for this video. Got a bit going on in the background with other cars and stuff that's keeping me busy. So I've definitely got my hands full now with this one. It's going to turn out pretty good, I feel, but I'm pretty keen to rip into it and turn this thing into something that's pretty wild. If you haven't already, leave a comment of what you think. Subscribe to the channel for more updates and videos that are going to be happening with the VK build. Probably going to make it like a bit of a build series and just keep pushing the boundaries with my skills, and bringing it all to you on YouTube so you can get along and have a look at it. Anyway, thanks guys. Cheers.